All right, fastest 15 minutes on the internet, fastest 15 minutes in social media. And my name is Judson Powell. MLK Day, Martin Luther King Jr. So I got a little bit of, I don't know, one of the most famous speeches that King made, of course, was I Have a Dream. And so I want to talk about that because dreams come to people that are asleep. The, uh, the manifestation of those dreams come to people that are awoke. Um, I think that as we've been moving along, I don't think that MLK's dream for Black people has been as I don't know has been as well received or accepted as that dream for other people who live in the United States. The other thing is, once you dream, then you have to wake up and you have to manifest those dreams, and that's just on a regular basis. Saying, okay, if you keep having a recurring dream, the next thing to do is to manifest that dream. So right now, we need to start manifesting things to go along with the things that we've been dreaming, and that's one of the problems that we've been having throughout history. And the other thing is that white supremacists and white nationalists have been trying to destroy the dreams that we have. And when I talk about that, I'm talking about even Dr. King was assassinated, even Malcolm X was assassinated, the Kennedys assassinated. Anybody that was for equality and especially for economic and financial equality for all people, uh, it's always been met with violence. And so the whole thing of nonviolence um, is that nonviolence only works when the enemy is also amenable to nonviolence, which has never been the case in this country. Then over since Trump became president, all we have is violence, lynchings, and then negative things being said um, about everybody. And a lot of this stuff was, it wasn't kicked off by Colin Kaepernick, but Black Lives Matter and Colin Kaepernick and all of the other movements uh, have basically um, shown that nonviolence is still not there. Police brutality, at an all-time high. People still not respecting us or respecting our gangster. So that's why I want to talk about that for just a second, because I just believe that in this country that racism and white supremacy and white nationalism are so prevalent that it just um, the manifestation of the dream has to be eradication of all these things. And you know how you see memes, and one meme that always sticks out with me on the internet is, why is this a discussion? Why do we even have to talk about this in 2021? Why are we talking about racism and white supremacy and white nationalism and all of these things in 2021? It's ridiculous, because we should have gone above and beyond that. The other thing is, give credit where credit is due. All the black inventors, all the black educators, all the black people that have contributed to the country is just staggering, and is unprecedented. Half of the things that we invented, and that's why I always tell black people, black kids, black men and women, no matter how old they are, of course you're going to tell the kids, but you got to tell everybody. Look, the automobile was invented by a black man. The cell phone invented by a black man. All of these things that we like and we look at, yeah, they have been, they may have been improved by the Asians, but um, we also know that all of these things were invented. The light bulb, the just simple things, the refrigerator, the lawnmower, traffic light, all these things invented by black people, but no credit given to black people by Caucasians. Caucasians never wake up. These things are not taught in our schools. All of these things were things that I learned outside of school. So, so sometimes I get into the thing, and I get, I get, I don't know, I get upset because we look at education and people talk about education and all these things, but you can be super educated, like Dr. King. Dr. King was super educated. He had a PhD, um, but the problem is that even with a PhD, somebody still killed him. They still wanted him dead. So it has nothing, and I always think about that. I said, look, I I've matriculated in education as high as anybody, but yet and still, people look down to you. They don't look up to you, or they don't give you credit. They rather give anybody credit besides you, and that's a problem. It really is. It's a serious problem that we have going on with our dreams, because our dreams are never just like, for example, I can't think of the guy's name, but the guy that made the Super Soaker. We just talking about a toy. They tried to steal all the money and not give him credit even for a toy. See, so you got to understand, a lot of this stuff is just refusal to acknowledge our contributions to society and to our civilization, to civilization period. I'm sure many of you know the fact that the Moors, black men, educated the Caucasians, took them out of the Caucasus Mountains. All right, and basically taught them everything that they knew as far as civilization. There would be no civilization without the Moors. There would be no civilization without Nubia. There would be no civilization without Kemet. There would be no civilization. You get what I'm trying to say. So without the African influence, there would be no United States of America without slavery. What basically, once again, slavery was just the taking or the theft of Africans in order to establish this country. And now, now 400 years later, you don't want to give us credit for establishing the country. It was built off the backs of our ancestors, not only off the backs of our ancestors, and we fought in every war. To call anybody unpatriotic or anything like that is ridiculous. We've had people fight in every single war that this country has been in. Even, and that goes all the way back to the Civil War. Whatever war you want to talk about, black men and women have enlisted in the military and have fought those wars. So for you to say that this, for now, I mean, I'm not mad at going back to Africa, but for somebody to say go back to Africa or this ain't yours or whatever, that's ridiculous. What do you have to do to be patriotic? What do you have to do to gain patriotism? What do you have to do, in order to get your piece of the rock? And all they do is throw rocks at us. So I just want everybody to think about, what are you dreaming about? And whatever you're dreaming about, dream big. And from now on, we gotta stop these processes. These processes of us creating things and them being stolen from, or having no platform to deliver them. And we have to stop delivering to platforms that show us in a negative light. All this stuff, they've over-sexualized our men and women, especially our women. They've over-sexualized our women, and they used us to do it. So they don't feel guilty. They've overemphasized black on black crime, and they count on us to keep on dealing in black on black crime. Why? These are the things that we got to have dreams about, and then when we wake up, we got to do things in order to be able to manifest the nonviolence that King talked about. But the first thing, if there's going to be nonviolence, it's got to begin with us. Sometimes I just, even the television, I watch television shows sometimes now with my wife, because since I've been sick. And the one thing that I notice is that every show there's always black on black crime. There's always a black stereotype, but the black stereotype is a false reality. It's a made up reality. It's not true. There are black doctors, there are black lawyers, there are smart black children. All of the things that they try to put out there in front of us in the media, we gotta rebel against that stuff. We gotta rebel against black on black crime. Brothers, y'all, we can't keep going out there killing each other over stupidity. And 9 times out of 10, stupidity, things that ain't even ours. You feeling me? It's a difference if somebody comes up and forcefully tries to attack your family or your friends or something like that. That's a different story. But just to go out here on the street and be killing people haphazardly with no rhyme or reason to it, that ain't cool. There's nothing cool to that at all. And every time, I know that, people complain, oh, you a college boy or whatever, but it breaks my heart because the first libraries, the first education, the first books, the first languages, the first alphabets, the first everything were discovered by Africans. Not, there is no, and all of these Greek philosophers and everything that they try to put up in front of you, not true. That's why I post things and then people trip on me, just like I posted a Amenemhotep. Amenemhotep wrote the Bible. He literally wrote the Bible. He literally wrote the books of wisdom in the Bible. The Psalms and the Proverbs and all of that stuff, they were written by him. They were written by black men. They were written by Africans, not written by white people, in the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church was Johnny come lately. Kemetic and Nubian civilization had existed for 50,000 years before they even got a hold of anything. It was just squashed, and people told that that's not the origin of things. But if you were taught correctly, then you will know that that is the origin of things. 50,000 years before they even ever came along. You look at the magnificent structures, the temples, the pyramids, all of those things, even throughout the world, from indigenous African people, there's no way that you can believe that, that you amount to nothing or that your worth is nothing. So I have a dream, but I would rather have a reality. And the other thing is, we don't just need one leader. We don't just need a Malcolm X. We don't just need a Kwame Ture. We just don't need a Martin Luther King. We don't need a Ralph David Abernathy. We don't need, a John Lewis. We need a bunch of y'all, especially young people, to gather up the mantle and start speaking. Start speaking truth to power. Speak truth to power. And then we need to create our, the business people out there, the finance people, the people that are accountants and lawyers and doctors and everything else. We need to step up. We got to step up. It's time to step up. It's time to stop dreaming and wake up. We got to wake up. The dream is done. We had the dream. We know what the dream is, but now we got to step up and speak truth to power, to the powers that be. And part of that, even with voting, part of that is voting. The reason why, even when Donald Trump went back and tried to recount those votes, there were too many black folks that voted, and when they counted them, they found out that he lost by more than what he thought, or that he lost, period. Without that, and there needs to be certain actions taken. Electoral college needs to be done away with. It was placed there in order to trick people and fool people, and to snatch power away when it should be one person, one vote. All of these things need to be established, and there's things that need to be established. So get out and work, and stop sitting up there talking about what you can't do or what you're not going to do, or whatever. Everything that's here in the earth is yours. The earth is yours and the fullness thereof. That's the fastest 15 minutes. I'm out of here. My name is Judson Powell. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit all the buttons. I thank you very much. I love you.